What's up? I got some house cleaning to do here. Before we get started, Lenny's picture is in the thumbnail. It's not fucking clickbait. He's not going to be on the show. Continue to watch, and you'll find out why his image is in the thumbnail. But with that being said, rip, rip, rip. What are we, Viper?
Serpents Lair.
Come on, animal. You know you want to. Oh yeah, we got Animal Mother Customs 80 back here tonight, and we're going to fuck some shit up GI Joe style tonight. And we got some people in the chat already. Sergeant Curtis Schultz, Kid with the Kung Fu Grenade, DFS Infinity. What's up, Raw Talk Real Deal? MC DJ's in the house. The Profit Director. Diamonds the Bangers in the house. Diamonds always kicking it. So
What up, everybody?
yeah.
What's going on?
Yes. So Animal, how's it been going?
Good, and you?
Good. Viper?
Fantastic, bro.
We're getting other than we're getting our shit shut down on IG. Shadow banning.
Shadow ban.
But anyway, fuck, I'd like to do a little bit of talk because I think we're gonna get right into this shit right now. Raw Talk says, "Welcome to the realm of the real," and says, "Ready to bang." That's right, we're ready to bang one out. Let's see. Let me get caught up. What's up? All right, so we're gonna get right into this shit because we have a lot to get to today. So this is hot takes, but we're gonna call it hot takes so you guys can understand our lingo. This is Viper. Fuck, it just slipped my head.
It's Spitin Venom.
Damn it. See, sometimes when the camera goes on, it goes out. So
What?
we're labeling, hot takes right now, but we call it Spitin Venom. So what are we?
And it's not trash talking. Spitin Venom is just the GI Joe talk of the week, maybe of the month, maybe of the moment. You know, we're Cobras over here, so it's got to be the Cobra lingo type.
Right. So it's interesting. Like Animal, when you heard Spitin Venom, did you think trash talk?
Yep.
Okay. So cool. Appreciate that. But it's not going to be trash talk. It's just us spitting venom. So we're Cobras, and that's kind of how we talk. So what's hot in the community? But
It's a Serpent's Lair. Spitin Venom is just our hot take Joe chat.
It's just something that we're kind of passionate about, and it maybe needs to be said, and we say a little different than our topics. But the first one is going to be GI Joe Classified Dusty. Do you want to give your thoughts on GI Joe Classified Dusty, Animal?
So I won't make a full decision till I have it in hand. Picture-wise, not the greatest. I think there's paint lackluster in places. You're gonna have the body remolds. It's GI Joe. It's what they do. You gotta cut costs somewhere. So I don't mind that they reused, certain arms, stuff like that. But I do mind that you totally opted not to really put paint on the chest, which makes no sense to me. I don't even know, does he actually have like his unit patch on the side of his arm? I don't think he does.
I was hopeful. I was actually supposed to get it in hand Tuesday, but I'm not going to be getting it in hand till tomorrow. But so I can't.
Lackluster of the paint on the face, and the helmet would be the biggest gripe. Just from what I've seen, everybody, the helmet not fitting properly. They did it with plastic, no soft goods.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't have any massive gripes about it.
Oh, wait, because me and Viper about race bits a minute. Go ahead, Viper. It's all you, man. We kind of go back and forth like last night.
So put the soft goods aside. I think what they were trying to do with the helmet still fell short. even if you're not going to do soft goods, right? Let's just throw that out the window.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit right. And the fact that Lenny didn't own it and say, hey, that's how we designed it. We thought it looked great or whatever. It's like, instead he's like, oh, you can, hold it down or you can hold it up. And it was just kind of like a weird sideways excuse of why some people might not like it. But yeah, the other stuff that Animal talked about is just me reiterating the face paint. Granted, I don't have it in hand, but the photos, once again, which is what we rely on because Hasbro's given us a lot of renders. So it's hard to really inspect the figures with how long these lead times are. But Dusty is getting to people right now. And the things that I think has fallen short for is the colors are a little bit off on the uniform to the arms. And I get it, it's different plastics, but that's what paint and stuff is for. Some of these customizers are taking a third-party item like the Gridiron Studios kit, and other people are taking other helmets and they are putting soft goods on it, and they are adding the face paint to the face, which was missing. And it's like, I don't think people realize the coolness level of Dusty and how iconic Dusty was as a toy. Not only he was a military guy, but he had the soft goods and he's the desert guy. And at the time, we were kind of about to get into Desert Storm, but Desert Warfare was really big. And just for you to touch base on Dusty and not bring the soft goods, it's kind of crazy.
And Viper, it's not just the soft goods. Everybody's heard soft goods, soft goods, soft goods. Mark Cosplay says it fits with the extra goggles.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to put the extra goggles on the forehead to squeeze that helmet down to make it fit. Should never be done.
Raw Talk says they could have made the camo better and the helmet with soft goods. So we've all seen photos. We've maybe seen videos. So like Viper was saying, Dusty is one of the, so I like a lot of Cobras, but there was a lot of Joes back in the day that I liked. They were pretty cool. Dusty was one I could never get. And when I got older, I could never find one with good, the good helmet and the good sand shields, the cloth and shit. So when they
Prophet pulled up a good comment. He's saying that he doesn't seem to see these issues with his.
Okay. Well, the face, the soft goods is a mess. So I never found one that was in real good shape because I only buy things in the wild. So it's a figure that I really, really wanted for a really long time. So they didn't put soft goods for one. It's a big deal if you're a Dusty fan. They didn't do face camo. That's a big deal too.
Big deal. Even soft goods aside, camo on the face, the original figure had. Why on earth wouldn't you do that? There's no excuse to not do it.
Huge fucking miss.
Yeah.
Agreed, panel?
I think agreed.
I mean, dude, no, 100%. And that's the other thing I didn't bring up. I never got to actually see the Lenny excuse of the Dusty helmet. I didn't watch the webisode thing that they did. So I'm just going off pure gripe of me being the fan of G.I. Joe that I am. It just doesn't quite hit that nostalgic button for me for Dusty. When I get Dusty, he'll have a little rework done, and then he'll hit that nostalgic button for me.
Yeah, Raw Talk, real deal. Lenny's gonna make Lenny's name's gonna be out of our mouth on this show. So yeah, he says Lenny makes a lot of excuses for poor design choices. And Diamond says, yeah, I agree, hold them accountable. And Skydra Walker's in the house along with Mark Cosplay. What's up? And
I will say this. I've had conversations with Lenny in DMs about things. Obviously we don't have much pull, but I've talked to Lenny a few times about different things, my stuff and just things Hasbro's done.
Yeah, if we don't have pull, then I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Us as general people, you know what I mean? So, um, when I see the body, I have a head. Like I was telling you, Viper, I feel like there's something wrong in the midsection area, the crotch, midsection. Something looks off.
It's because, so if you look at the old figure, the mid torso area, his jacket extends below his belt. If you look at the
Yep.
new figure, there's really no, I don't believe there is, but I don't think there's like you don't see the jacket extending below the belt.
It's just a miss, and that is we are going to be spitting venom on that because I like a lot of cobras. I do like Joes too. Cobras seem to be hitting way harder in classified than the Joes. It seems to be a big hole. Go ahead, Viper.
I just feel like some of the coolest Joes like Dusty or Falcon, just because the military dress that they wear is very iconic. It's almost a shame to see some of it fall short. And it's just like you have source material. Why can't you look at that and at least if you're gonna go with the figure, don't give us a bunch of repurposed parts. You're gonna have to make a few key items on some stuff. And I think that belt that you guys are talking about with the shirt flared underneath, because he's got an over belt, it's like a utility belt kind of with all the pins holes in it. It's kind of iconic as well. And I can look past that though, but I do hear you on it looks a little boring in the midsection area, but I think that's down to preference. I think overall though, the figure doesn't look deserty. It looks kind of orange.
If you look at original Dusty though, as far as webbing, gear, he was always lackluster of that. Even in the, even in the OG 85 figure, he was lackluster. He just kind of had his belt and shoulder straps. That's really, really all he had, his backpack and weapon. He was really a lackluster character, but design-wise, amazing.
Yeah, Raw Talk says they should have extra heads for all their figures in general. Give us alternate facial expressions. Dusty could have had extra head with face paint.
Dusty should have just had face paint, period. It shouldn't have to be an extra
That's
face.
okay. So if you made a hit and run with no face paint, I'd be hitting you the same way. Like there's just certain figures that have iconic aesthetic choices that you just can't miss. You just can't miss it.
Even if you make hit and run with no helmet on, paint his face. We don't care about that. We want to see the face paint no matter what.
Ooh, that brings up a good fucking question. Would you guys, so all the old figures, obviously, it's back in the day, none of the helmets were removable, right? They all look good. They were all molded on, right? Do you need a removable helmet?
I personally like that option.
Okay.
I don't think the heads would look. Well,
What about if it was swap head? So they to mold it, because like some of the helmets are just weird looking on them. So what if you got alternate heads? Oh,
that could kind of go back to the Dusty, right? They're trying to give us this head that's removable, and it falls short of the old head because the old Dusty, the whole top of the head is a secondary piece, and that fabric kind of like overlays, and then you put the piece on.
Jeezy Creasy and Tiny Plastic Universe are in the house. What's up, guys? Go ahead, Viper. Sorry about that.
I think that was just I think that was just design wise to keep that fabric there though too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if you did a perma head or a perma helmet, would that have been the option for the soft goods if you couldn't have laid it right according to Lenny? He said it didn't lay on the neck right, it didn't look right, and the fabric was too thin, or they couldn't get the right cut of the fabric that they wanted. That's what they were referring to.
Guys, if you're making action figures and you can't get soft goods right, you got no business doing fucking action figures. What's up, Big M and Ralph Bednarski?
I mean, there's soft goods on Coco. The Snake Supreme Cobra Commander is a double stitch cape. It's got 2 pieces of fabric on it. That thing's pretty nice.
David Miller, what's up, man?
But I think they missed from what I'm understanding too, I think they kind of missed the mark on Mindbender and Serpentor's cape as well. Even though they are soft goods, I think they still missed the mark on it.
Mindbender not having that Cobra symbol on the cape just bothers me. Go ahead, Viper.
No, same. Great points being made. Like, there's just some things that it's like you forgot to put the badge on the Ferrari. Like, you know how important the badge is on the Ferrari too? Like,
Yeah, like
I don't know.
you made a vet, right? And instead of getting it aluminum polished wheels or black satin wheels, deep dishes, you put motherfucking steel wheels on that bitch. Okay? When you can't give excuses when you fall short of an iconic detail. Like I said,
Putting the flags on the vet. If you don't put I mean, there's just some things that are par for the course.
yeah. So I think we're gonna move on from the Dusty, but it is a huge letdown, man. That is one of my favorite Joes. Go ahead, Viper.
All right, what do you want to get into next? I mean, you say we're moving on, right?
I thought you had something to say before we went on.
No, I'm reading some comments.
Gotcha.
David Miller says the cape with the articulation on Serpentor is amazing. I don't know if he's talking about the mod. Prophet likes Serpentors. It's a weird cut. M3's in the house.
What up, Marcos? M3. And Raw Talk says that's why O-ring rolls, and we all know.
Whoops.
we all know it's subject to preference. It's all good shit. Give me more G.I. Joe. It's all good.
Yeah.
But
O-ring's always gonna rule. But if you really look at every G.I. Joe line that's come after O-ring, everything has failed. O-ring was the only G.I. Joe line to really go strong and heavy. Everything.
Oh no,
else
I
has
think
failed.
Classified's a new contender for going pretty strong.
They are, but I'm just saying, if you kind of look at the timeline of every Joe line afterwards, they've gone for a couple years or so, and then they've kind of trickled out. So I mean, O-ring right now has been king.
so you're talking
top that.
You're talking
O-ring is king.
Longevity animal.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't argue with the longevity. It's like the sports player. He can only go a couple years because he's always hurt, as opposed to the guy who plays a couple decades. You know what I mean? So
O-ring in my eyes will always be king, because no other line. I love G.I. Joe, but no other line has lasted as long as O-ring did. It went from 80 to 94, and then on. You know, you could count the Dark Age 2000s because there's O-ring in there.
Mark Cosplay wants to talk trash on O-ring so bad. I know you do. Mark.
They never left O-ring. They just adapted it to a new mold.
Yeah.
New technology that they thought at the time was better, but the proportions were weird.
If you really want to go into it, that was what, like 2000 went to what? 2007?
5 or 7, between 5 and 7. We'd have to look it up.
So, I mean, you have 20, 25 years of
the design of O-ring. Well, I mean, if you want to get crazy, O-ring design goes crazier because G.I. Joe just perfected it. It wasn't their invention, but it was their signature version. So it's like car makers, right? You got the Ford Pinto and you got Lamborghinis. It was like all we got was Pintos and Pacers before, and then Lamborghini was coming out.
Yeah. So don't get it twisted, chat. We're talking about O-ring longevity. If
Raw Talk says 2001 to 2010 was the run of the Dark Ages, I guess you'd say.
No, I would disagree. If that's what we're talking about, Dark Ages, there's no way that's Dark Ages. We're gonna do a show on Dark Ages. And it's funny. It's funny how we determine what's Dark Ages and what's not.
I say all Dark Ages is from when it's not O-ring G.I. Joes, like the traditional first gens. Later 90s even had them. Some of the 2000s had them. But once those disappeared and we went to those weird kind of Power of the Force figs, I don't know, because like Extreme fits in there, Sigma 6 fits in there. But then that's stepping on other people's toes, though. We call it Dark Ages. That might be their glory years.
That's their glory years. Because if you talk to Tiny grew up with Sigma 6. That's his
Yeah.
Joe era, you know?
Yeah.
There's meat and potatoes in Sigma 6. There's
Like
meat and potatoes.
Viper grew up with the later 90s. I grew up from the 80s all the way through the 90s, you know? So
Yep.
I kind of enjoyed everything.
And I'm
Yeah.
getting you to come back to the 90s goodness.
You're getting me to hit parts of the lines that I never hit, like Street Fighter and all that. I bypassed all that stuff. I was like, I don't need it. I don't want it. And as I'm older now, it's like, let's add it.
Yeah. There's no denying for me. I love classified Cobras. Man, they're so good. The Cobra troops, the Vipers, all the ranks, man.
So I
Except
got a gripe with the Cobra Troopers. I don't like the Cobra Troopers as much as I do the officer body.
My only concern with that is if they're going to do a stinger, they better repaint that officer body and do it right. Don't give us no trooper or infantry crap. You know?
Yeah. Okay. So got a couple things in chat. Raw Talk says I got the Sigma 6 hooded Cobra Commander with the battle armor He-Man chest. Dude, some of that stuff I enjoy. So I didn't really enjoy the 2.5-inch figs in that line, but Mark Cosplay says, yeah, you got to appreciate more of the things we missed in the lines. I agree. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and move it on to the next one. We'll go ahead and put this one on to you, Viper. Our next one is our Lenny topic. I'm going to let you head that off.
All right. So I think Lenny is doing a good job. I like what Lenny's doing, but I have my concerns with some things that I think is a little bit of an issue. Design wise, I'd say 90% of the Joes are looking perfect, looking really good. There's very like little concern as far as what we got going. You know, some of the earlier stuff was a questionable. The video game was involved, but now when you look at the stuff, if you're a diehard, like they would label me, and you want really close to the O-ring look, but you don't mind a little sacrifice on some upgrades, because I'm more lenient on some stuff, but there's some stuff you got to draw the line. And I feel like what fans would like more, or maybe someone like me questions, is I don't see Lenny in the mix on social media with Joe stuff as much. He's involved. He does drawings. He's very talented. He's got his different accounts, but there's other people in toy lines that are purchasing prototypes and buying customs, and they're showing it on their IG, little renders or drawings or tidbits of information. I feel like somewhere out there in the Joe world, we're not getting that at all. It's like, are you guys diehards like us, or are you really even fans? Because at some point, I feel like you would be online with it a little bit more, and like you'd have your shit on hand, or you'd be showing more things or more involved in it if it's your childhood love and your devotion. Because some of us live and breathe this, and we're just bums off the street. That's all I gotta say. I just wonder where Lenny's at in his head.
Yeah, yeah. When you said that to me, I'm like, it's surprising because in the past 7 years, hardcore. I mean, it's been longer than that, social media. 7 years, hardcore. Like everybody's out there in the limelight now. So it does surprise me that he's not out there as much. Let me read a comment before we get too high. Marco says, I think that's my dilemma. I'm not a diehard Joe head. Like I am more so a diehard Transformer lover. Maybe that's why I'm impartial to classified versus O-ring. Um, uh, if you're more partial to an action figure too, the new stuff seems more like an action figure to people who didn't fuck with it. But I remember sitting all the time, whether I was an adult or a kid. I could pose those 3 3/4 inch 80s GI Joes all day. I would sit just at the table forever, just posing them with their limited stuff. But you know, they were iconic in their articulation back then. But so I don't really know if you were thinking that maybe he's got a whole team. Okay, so my question is, can a person so he's supposed to be head of What is he head of?
Design.
Design. I got it written right here. Sorry about that. If you're head of design, you have a team, right? Is his team in the forefront? Okay.
Not
Not
that I've
really.
seen.
Hmm.
The only one you ever see doing any media about anything is, Emily, and she's a whole nother topic.
Right.
Yeah.
So, has Lenny ever come out and said his history with GI Joe? That'd be interesting to get him to do an interview to where he could talk about his involvement in it. I have never seen one. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. You know what I
I feel
mean?
like from what I know, Lenny's like a huge 85-ish fan. I don't know how long he collected into the line, but I think 85 is like his favorite year.
So if you were diehard mid '80s Joe fan, right? That's when I got into it big time because I went with my cousins and I'd seen it, so it hooked me then. But even if you started then and you like that era, there's enough meat and potatoes in the mid '80s to carry your knowledge for a long time because that's like some of the golden years of any toy, especially with GI Joe.
They are very lackluster on their media. If you kind of look at Marvel Legends and the way they run their media and stuff, they're kind of always on social media, asking questions, getting polls. Do you like the windowless packaging? Do you like the box packaging? Do you want, the card back packaging? They ask these questions, but you never see the GI Joe team ever doing anything like that.
Raw Talk says he's more reserved designer. I may be biased because of he's from Staten Island, and back then GI Joe was a grade school, middle school currency. He's a diehard, but he's surrounded, I guess I would say, by fools. Um,
Yeah,
catch
and I
up on
mean,
this.
we don't know. I don't know how locked they are into like what they can say, what they can show. I don't know any of that. I don't know what their end of the
Why
business is, but
why is it so hush hush? Why is it so reserved? The other toy lines out there have people that are involved and toy lovers buying stuff and showing it off on their accounts and taking polls, getting the people involved. It's like it feels like they can't be approached. They're beyond reproach unless you're almost like a kind of a fanboy and you won't ask a hard-hitting question or have dialogue like this about like, okay, why'd we fall short on this? Why'd we fall short on that? Like, what's going on here? Like, is there
I mean,
any other reason than you couldn't make it work? I don't know.
if you look at Marvel Legends, like when they show you, it's like they all of a sudden just release product shots. It's like here's the toy, here's product shots, blah 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 blah. And it's like GI Joe. It's like here's a list of 5 names we're gonna give you. Here's another list of 5 names we're gonna give you. There's never any product shots or anything until months later.
You
So
guys,
I think they're just ahead of themselves.
there's Kickstarters out here, and they're showing sketches. They're showing 2-up molds where they're molding the 6-inch version of the figure to scale it down and do it how the OGs did it. And it's like there's none of that at all because I mean, what do they do? Just render a file and send it to China? Or is that it? But could you at least give us the renders halfway through? Like, oh, here's a chest. Can you guess who it is?
Sam Newsman says 2 words: Disney overlords. Oh my gosh, drop the mic right there. What's up, Sam?
Yeah, but Disney doesn't own GI
Yeah,
Joe, so
I know we're just fucking around, but I kind of got off point of what I wanted to talk about.
The main point is there's no social media presence and they've hired someone to be a media presence. And it's like, all right, so most of us look to Lenny as the guiding light of design and GI Joe news and knowledge. And instead we have what we have, which is a whole nother show to talk about. But it's like, how can you not be at least similar to us as far as like being involved and loving it so much? And I don't know that there would be a non-disclosure. And if there isn't a non-disclosure, that's even more questions of like, I don't know. I just feel like there's so many people with potential, like Animal Mother Customs, G.I. Joe Fan 321, Toy Gigante, Carlos, that these people have the gift and the love and the drive. It's in the wrong hands somewhat, I guess I'm saying.
So in their eyes, do you think that they think somebody from our generation doesn't get it? It's got to be somebody who understands new marketing strategies, new generations. Because wouldn't it be, do you think somebody from our generation could go in there with some power and turn it around? Or you just think a company that's
I think if you have an art ground, social media, graphic designing, whatever, you can land yourself one of these goddamn jobs, which is probably how half of them get started.
Yeah, I definitely think it's they get jobs based on that, not knowledge in the product, knowledge of how to market,
Because if
knowledge.
you look at, the Queen
So
Bee,
if
you look at
you
the
don't
Queen
need to
Bee,
know,
yeah,
the designer themselves don't need to be, I guess, knowledgeable about it. But why have your head or lead designer? So like you could be the lead designer, I guess, but you don't actually have to design with the computers and all that. Say like Animal's like a little slow with computers, but he likes working with his hands. Why can't he sculpt it, have one of the tech nerds scan it, and then throw it in the computer for him? There's a will, there's a way, right?
Yeah.
Because your brain, Animal, the way you interpret your vision is in your hands. Maybe the way they interpret their vision is through their hands, but not in the craft. It's just a click and a click, a clickety click, So
see, and I couldn't do it. I mean, I went to school for graphic designing and stuff, but I can't sit there. I
well,
can't do that kind of shit.
I guess that's what I'm saying is like the organic between the brain and the hands and the sculpting of the toy to be made into the mass production kind of isn't there anymore. It's just a click, click, click nowadays. I feel like maybe a little bit of the old school, let the guy make the custom, mold it up, do whatever, make the shit by hand. It's flossing, and then you run it through the scanners. Because we have shit now where they scan the bumpers on their cars and then they go make body kits. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I and that's the problem. But I also think that, like, if you're gonna be designing GI Joes or whatever toy line you're gonna be designing, you should have some knowledge and some passion about it.
Right.
Yeah.
DFS says it takes the right kind of person, the kind of person who seeks the input of other fans. We need people who can take criticism, conduct criticism from the correct sources.
Well, that can be interpreted later on in our show. That we can come back to that because that's a valid point of how the fans and the right person might be able to make the dreams of others become reality quite easy. And it's so easy and it looks so good. It's crazy. Like, you're a massive company and you can't do what the little complaints that we have, like the COBRA on the cape and things like that. And then you don't do any social media. You got us like out here like vultures waiting for your little public outcast to show, here's the piece of chicken. Come look. Oh, it's not actually a piece of chicken. It's the name chicken. It's just chicken written on a piece of paper. And we're going to show you this. There's no chicken here to be seen. Have a good day. It's the worst kind of treatment, but yet we're so loyal. We're here with our money. Give me Python Patrol. Give me Tiger Force. So it's like, I don't know how you could fuck it up. When you got dogs ready to feed, all you do is pour the food out and they eat. We're ready to eat and we're getting food that's moldy and nasty to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you keep the dog on a leash when you shouldn't, Viper.
Yeah.
Yep. But we're going to kind of switch this up. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of do something a little different from what I was going to do, guys. We're going to go ahead and show some Animal Mother custom stuff right now. we got a couple other topics we're gonna do, but I definitely want to make sure that we get this handled. Let me bring up what I need to bring up, guys. Let's see. I might leave the background up. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that or go black. But Animal, can you see the
I
screen?
love the red. I love the red star background.
Yes.
I
Red
can see
army.
the screen.
Can you see the screen, Animal?
I can.
Okay. If you kind of want to talk to us, these are customs from Animal Mother Customs. Damn it. From Animal. You can go ahead and tell us what you'd like to tell us about these, man.
So these were commissioned out by Sam Newsman last Christmas. He wanted some Christmas themed cobras done. So he kind of gave me an idea of what he was looking for and just kind of gave me free reign. So what you're looking at here is Major Blood kind of turned into what we like to call a nutcracker. So we've got the blood cracker going on.
Blood Cracker. That's dope.
So
That
he,
is
I mean,
dope.
you can't, I don't know if you can go in on the face, but he actually has like the little cheeks and the teeth and all that kind of stuff done.
Yeah,
to
the
him, but
teeth, the goatee, the just it's phenomenal.
Yeah, Mark Cosplay says, Animal, amazing work. Skydro says, gorgeous. Raw Talk says, cool. Dude, that's a badass name. Major Blood Cracker. Badass, man.
It's just the blood cracker.
Blood
no,
Cracker.
it was a fun. These were really fun to work on and do.
I like the I like this. So he's got like scales on the back, right there up in his upper portion of his jacket. They kind of look
Yeah.
like scales.
It's the Cobra. So basically, it's Cobra Commander's upper body. You got some. I want to say they were trooper legs, and then Viper lower legs, Viper arms.
Right. I figured these were great pieces to show with it being Christmas time. Oh
this
no, where's the front?
one.
Where's the front? Hold on, I'm working hard to get the front. What the fuck happened? This is live TV right
Well,
now.
I mean, while it's up here, we can talk about it. So this was a Cobra Trooper turned into like an elf, kind of.
There we go. I got it. Look at the milk. Milk and cookies, bro.
Like some milk and cookies.
So we kind of took just the normal trooper body, sculpted the collar, the little wrist puffs, and then the lower legs I actually took from the Marvel Legends Boom Boom. I kind of cut them off, used her lower legs and her feet, and then just kind of sculpted the little the little elf shoe curl on the end.
That's sick.
And the
Oh,
gold piping, the small little details, it's all beautiful.
yeah.
Oh, when you went back, yeah.
Yeah, this one's
This
dope.
so dope.
So this one wasn't one of my favorites. This one took a long time to figure out what I wanted to do with the color. Unfortunately, I didn't have another Boom Boom. So this dude kind of looks like he's wearing bigger clogs in a way, with socks. But yeah, when I first started doing this one, man, the color scheme going on, I really felt like it really wasn't a Christmas theme going on. I felt like the dude should have been playing soccer or something.
No, this
It
is
had
amazing. This is
had a
great.
very
People like this.
it had a very soccer theme going on when I first started trying to think about it.
Dude, more people will probably like this than you. You might not fancy it, but I think your next elf, like the green one, needs more red contrast like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this one. This one's probably my favorite of the elves. The other one has better legs, but I think this paint job is better. The candy striping for me is what sells it.
Yeah.
Jeezy Crazy says, Animal. Oh, this is great stuff. And
Yeah, man.
Raw Talk says it works well, though.
Yeah. They were all really fun to work on.
Dude, you're the creator, so you're probably harder on yourself. You know, we understand you're really hard on yourself. You know what I mean? But this is great work, and
Well, I think a creator's his greatest critic, right?
yeah, it should be.
Right?
Should
Yeah,
be
you
though.
gotta
That's how
be.
you get. That's how you get the best work. Sorry, Viper.
Well, so what we were talking about earlier is there's some GI Joe community input on some of these, right? Animal, just a little bit.
Yes. Yes.
So this is a prime example of a collective of people. Now, this isn't all just our decisions. This is just little input here, some feedback there. Animal asks, does this look right? This look good? Where should I head with this? Like the Nutcracker was the Major Blood idea was one person's sole idea. And Animal, sometimes he might not think of it, but when it was brought to the attention of Animal and he said, you know what, that's a fantastic idea. And I think the Nutcracker is one of the best. I personally love the Blood Cracker. And it's just so amazing that without input of others, he might not have made that decision. So that ties right back into Hasbro. Sometimes you might need to pick the fans' brains because they do your job for you.
I think that's the last one I got for right now. Yeah, I don't have a back. Yeah, I do. There's the back. I got to do the back shot. Look at that. Am I seeing some furry goods there?
Yes. You're seeing some furry. He's got some cloth soft goods.
And does it lay right?
Yes. Lays right over the shoulders.
Oh, am I fucking laying it on thick enough?
But yeah,
Sam Newsman said
Coco was awesome to work.
Animal is so talented, and was such an honor to know that several members of the community were involved. Thank you all.
Yes.
From Sam Newsman.
My little small group was involved with this.
All right, let me get back to where I need to be.
And I think I could say everyone involved is a diehard G.I. Joe fan.
Mm-hmm.
Some might be a little bit newer to the G.I. Joes and maybe not diehard, but for the main people that might have been involved, I feel like we're hardcores.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it shows because like you get real feedback, no one's gonna say, oh yeah, that's great. They might tell you, oh, that looks good, but are you gonna go the original route? And you make tweaks and dude, phenomenal customs.
And a lot of this stuff is done when we're just sitting around on calls, not doing anything. Everybody can kind of see. It's like, bam, I've done it. Here it is. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like the Mountie. That came out of a 10-minute conversation.
It did.
Yeah. DFS was saying he wouldn't want G.I. Joe to take inspiration from customs, and I don't think that's what we're referring to. Like, if you're gonna make a few renders of, let's say you're gonna make a render of a figure that's coming out down the road, like Torch, maybe you could throw up a few different versions and say, hey, what do you guys like the best? You might get the jacket from number 2, you might get the pants from number 3, and you might get the head from number 1, and then boom, you make that figure, and let's say 85% of people voted for all those parts, that it would go well received. We
all know that if Hasbro comes out with Christmas G.I. Joes, you saw it here first.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's kind of an inspiration from their holiday stuff already, though, right?
But different.
Is that where
Sam they
asked for it?
Black Series, though. Black Series has done it, so that's not G.I. Joe.
So Raw Talk makes a good point. Outback
Rambo
being
Santa.
Rambo Santa Claus. I want to see some G.I. Joes in Christmas attire in the future. I'm a Cobra guy, but I think
only if it's the Baroness and she's not wearing much but a fucking elf hat.
Well, I haven't been
Santa hat.
about
Sorry,
too much of a Joe one, but I have been commissioned to do another Christmas set for another person next year involving quite a few figures and different figures from what Sam has. So it'll be kind of nice.
Right. Yeah.
We're just touching we're not even touching the tip of what this guy can do, what he has done. Animal Animal should be very proud of what he does. Somebody who can work with their hands and master a craft like that is something to be very proud of. Like I've worked with my hands all my life, so big ups and big shout out to Animal. But like I
I
said,
mean,
that's not even
it's
touching
taken a
his
while
work.
to get here. I mean, I've been doing, customs since 2002, 2003.
That's quite a while. That's a long time to be doing them. Um, Curtis Schultz says, "Do you think the classifieds will ever do the A team, and would you get it?" I'll go on that one first. I don't. I mean, put it in the classified line. No, I don't know if that's what you mean. Definitely don't put an A team in no classified line. But would I like to see some A team in that aesthetic? Sure, why not? Anybody else want to
A
go before I
team,
move?
A team could be cool in like a classified aesthetic, but I wouldn't want to see them part of the classified line.
Yeah, like the cross that they have a lot to get to before they fucking start. They'll try. They will try to shoehorn in something that's not fucking part of GI Joe. So don't do it. Don't do that.
Well, Transformers is always going to be there because unfortunately GI Joes and Transformers just have crossed over a lot.
Yeah. Go ahead, Viper.
Yeah, G.I. Joe and Transformer are too intertwined, man. At this point, with all the renditions we've seen, it's bread and butter, honestly.
Well, at least there's media and material behind it. You know what I'm saying? The early 2000s and on, they did comic books with them. So
They made some impressive statues. They did the Baroness walking the dog. Excuse me for not knowing who he
Ravage,
is, but
it's fine.
Ravage.
Ravage.
Yeah.
That statue that they made, I'm not sure who made it, but I sent it to you, Pack, in our chat, and I was blown away by that. I would want to own that. Just the fact that the scale of the dog with her, to me, it was symmetry. It didn't look weird. Didn't give me Happy Meal vibes like I get from some of the toys that I see that they make. The concept of the Transformers are still cool. I just don't like how they fall short for you guys either. And they do that waffling inside the leg instead of just finishing it off like a Gundam.
I'm trying to get an image of that real quick because it's a badass fucking statue.
Yeah, dude.
I could be wrong, but it might be Sideshow that did that. I could be wrong.
Damn it. I don't think I have it. Did you send it to me in a text?
It's on IG. The A team's cool. I think they should have done them in O-ring. Because like the first run of A team was in the shitty O-rings. You could do them in the G.I. Joe format and make the little van in the 3 3/4 through Hasbro. I know Raw Talk was saying he's trying to get Bobby Vala to do it, but whoever does it, I think the best homage to it is make them an O-ring for the people that owned them or collected them or even think they're cool, because the O-ring people in G.I. Joe might buy them just to buy them, plus the nostalgia of the people that own the originals, because it's really close and similar to one another. It's just made at hopefully a higher quality than the old stuff.
I'm finding my chat. I'm gonna bring that up. Let's see, right here. Right here. All right, I got it right here. I'm gonna bring it up. Okay. Come on now. All right, so we're gonna look at the statue that Viper's been talking about. This right here. That is pretty sick. You see
Yeah,
that?
because there's some instances when they cross them over, and I'm thoroughly happy and impressed. And then there's some other instances where it falls a little short.
Right. Look at that. Look at that view right there. Her hair blowing like that. Her pose. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, especially with the dog like pulling on the chain and the chain taut. She's telling it to heel, probably, whatever, just fantastic.
Yes. All right. So I might have to use this Instagram while I'm in here. So just a second. I think somebody's been sending me messages. Let me see. All right. So I'm going to try to do this without divulging anybody's personal information. So let me bring that up. Give me just a second. We're going to have I missed chat. I'm getting behind on chat. I will get caught up, guys.
So Bumblebee being the awe striker is absolute trash. They should have done Beachcomber only because he literally is a dune buggy.
Yeah, it's oh my god,
it's idiotic.
So we got some extra pictures of these items, a little bit better quality for y'all. Check that out.
Yeah.
That is sick. Let's see what else we got here. It's not.
Shout out to Sam for coming in clutch on the photos because Animal didn't take many before he sent them out.
That was our fault.
It was our fault. It was
well, they've been sent out for a year.
It was kind of a time stretch if you remember correctly.
Oh, I do. They had to be there before Christmas.
It was crunch time to pop out 4 figures in the time I had.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's sick.
But
just
Coco was done first, and I feel like it kind of set the bar for me after doing Coco. That's like, shit, what am I gonna do now?
Hey, Roundy.
Oh, Roundhead's in there. What's up? I can't see.
Roundy.
Get out of here. Let me get out of here. Yeah,
so,
what's up, Roundhead?
I can't lie. I had to get Animal to make me an O-ring Santa. And we spent some time discussing it. And I had a vision for the figure. I picked out all the parts. And, it's funny how, like, you have something in your mind, and then you give it to a master craftsman who's just as much a Joe head as myself. He gives it the look over and changes it, which is cool because the final product is better than the vision that I had. And so sometimes you got to get the right person in the job and just let them do their thing.
Yeah.
What up, everybody in chat? Just want to say thank you for showing up to the show.
You gotta trust the process and sit back and hold my beer.
Yeah.
Spitin Venom on here tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this up. We've been on for almost an hour, and I don't feel like I've been fucking rowdy enough. So, another couple of topics we got here. Before we bring up this one, if you look at, I'll bring this up. If you look at the thumbnail, right, for the show, you can see it says G.I. Joe Retro, Dusty. We've talked about Dusty. You can see over here, we got Lenny's face, but we haven't talked about Retro or why I have this artwork on here yet. So before we do Where's Retro, please, for the love of God, stop giving us this bullshit renders on these closed boxes. Do you see what could be done? Use fucking artwork. Stop using digital renders on these windowless packages. Please. If you're going to have to do that for us, fucking change it. That's why I have that Python, the box, you know what I mean? To show that you can make that appealing, Viper.
Yeah, because when we look back, they're paying artists to bring the ideas to life. And it was artists that created these toys for us. It wasn't corporate entities.
I'll be right back, Viper.
I kind of feel like the art is lost. And that's what I was referring back to with the hands-on approach to building the figures and putting it down, doing the prototype into the custom, into the final render, and then running through production, however you do it. But the fact that you, Animal, make this, and you're an artisan, you take these toys, these little pieces, these broken, forgot about dreams, and you put them back together and render something that at least will live in my lifetime for as long as humanly possible. But like the Santa you made me. That's going to be part of my Christmas routine every year. I'm going to put him in the tree sometimes. I'm going to have him on his little rock. I got a rocking horse. I plan on making a sleigh. But just the fact that the art part of it is missing. And with some of the G.I. Joe boxes, we got some really good artwork. Like one of my favorites is the Major Blood. Another one, what was it? Oh, I'm having a brain fart right now, but just referring to the Major Blood artwork, that dark, menacing look. I feel like if we're going to go down a certain route, can we at least get kind of the same artists so it stays consistent like we had with the original toy line? The box art, the card art, it all felt very similar and reminiscent. And sometimes you need one person to do that job, not a whole team of people, I guess you could say. But I feel like we're missing a huge chunk. What you feel, Animal, like art-wise compared to the Joes?
See, I don't I don't mind if they want to, because obviously they've done it with some, let's say, CoverGirl, Spirit. I can't remember who else was on that line, but they subbed like artists out to do the artwork. The artist obviously took their rendition of the figure and did it in an artwork for the box. I don't mind that. I understand, I guess, why some companies did it. What I guess I would have preferred is if you kind of stuck to one certain one of that and then maybe released like a book of, hey, these were artist renditions of the cover, of the box art. You could release it as a book and let the artists do their rendition of the figures that way, instead of, okay, this box art looks amazing all the way up until here, and now we have some Japanimation looking high school squirrel girl looking cover girl artwork. You know what I'm saying? She looks more like she should be out of like a Marvel superhero comic than anything. And that could have been done elsewhere.
You're muted, Viper.
Muted.
The Zorana box is interesting to me because I like the artwork, but then again, it's not the person that painted the Major Blood. If they would have done the Zorana, I think I would have been more than content. I feel like it leaves something to be desired when I get this lackluster box, because for some of us that are inbox collectors or just really appreciate the work that goes into the packaging, it's a little bit weird. It's like a crapshoot. What's it going to look like? Is it going to be like the Spirit one? I like where it was and what it is, but I don't feel like it looks good on a box. I feel like that would look good like on a page of a book. Exactly what you said. And I feel like what does look good on a box is, use Cobra Commander's box for an example. When they were doing that type of style of box art, kind of, I guess it's like video game-ish, I don't mind that, as long as it looks like the figure that we want it to look like, right? But just the Destro, the Prophet Director box, like, I hate that box. Pac likes it. I can't stand it. So I guess it comes down to preference, but I just feel like consistency is the main thing. And a book would be even better because, they're all about being uplifting and helping the communities. You could have those book sales go to charity or some shit. And, I know that the Hasbro people would buy it up. Us collectors, we'd love to have a coffee book table with G.I. Joe artwork.
Maybe that's why it doesn't bother me sometimes, because as far as the classified inbox, I don't really care. I don't care about the number. I don't care about the art. I just want the figure.
Right.
Would you like a box classic to like reminiscent of card art, like kind of like how the retro is?
I don't see, maybe, but I mean, even then I got the gung ho and it was so flimsy that I could care less.
Oh god.
Well, so that's the issue. If we had the card thickness like the Marvel Legends are doing, I get the nostalgia button hit when I'm tearing it open. That tear on the retro packaging was so weak. I felt like I was just opening something from the grocery store. Didn't feel.
It didn't do it for you, huh?
Nah, not at all.
Yeah.
I think
DFS
all
says
that-
don't waste the toy budget on subjective art. Give us tech specs, more paint, and alternative heads. That's fine too.
Mhm.
I might be more accepting of your shitty ass fucking box. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Your box is fucking shitty. All right. You have a high standard to uphold to. We all seen shelves and shelves and shelves for decades that drew you in, right? So if I knew what DFS said was in the box, maybe it would go a little bit lighter. Viper.
I feel like you could take a poll right now of which G.I. Joe box art was your favorite, and then you could choose that artist and just put them on salary and be done with it. You don't have to, pay each individual person and outsource it. You could just have one guy in-house, just draw us Joes, whatever, and it would be consistent and it'd be down to one person. You wouldn't have to worry about it.
File cards are missed. File cards are so missed. And the bilingual ones don't do it because you've reduced the information and the story. You can give us 3-4 sentences and we can fixate on a story from there. But
The whole old file card system used to give you the entire rundown of a character from his goddamn schooling to how he became where he is.
Yep. And his quirks, some of his quirks about him.
yeah, like that's not a file. What they've been doing lately is not a file card to me. It's
It's in multiple languages, and
they even
the
went to the extent to tell you every firearm and every vehicle and everything like that the person was eligible to fire or drive.
So the box thickness too. So we've talked about the card thickness. It's not very good. The closed box shit, that feels flimsy as fuck too. To me.
Yeah,
the new boxes.
The only one I've gotten so far has been the Sarge. Like, I'm waiting on the Kamakura to come in, so Sarge is the only one I've gotten so far. This
Sarge in 52 is what I've had my hands on, and fucking. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so
DFS was saying he's cool with the classic art on the box, and it doesn't matter what the figure looks like inside. Not like the figure doesn't matter paint wise, but like it could be different. The figure could be the new updated classic or the classified version, but the box art is the original, like box art or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the problem. I think they know that the fans are going to scoop up whatever the fuck they put out, especially when they starved us for like 7-8 years. So we'll talk about that another time. But Cobra Viper poses this next topic of where's retro, and I think he's off cam right now. Let me get caught up with chat.
I'm chilling. We can get caught up with chat.
It's Ralph
says he votes himself.
Huh?
Ralph says he votes himself.
I vote that. Talented and handsome Ralph to draw all the Joe art. But that's, dude, you know how cool it would be for somebody in the community that we know to get a fucking job like that that'd be badass. Ralph is definitely an amazing artist. So shout out to Ralph. But where's retro?
I mean, coloring books would be great. That's what Mark said.
That's why lunchbox mugs. Well, I think that's some of the problem that we're running into.
Those adult coloring books are pretty popular.
So why were you asking where's retro, Viper?
So I was asking where's retro and what's it doing, because it's like a drunk driver, bro. It's guardrail to guardrail. We've gone from O-ring to classified. 50th, I mean, no O-ring, but we've gone from 50th anniversary stuff and then some new hodgepodge of troopers and officers and a good rendition of Grunt, great rendition of Stalker, good rendition of Roadblock, and it's like boom, then it's classified, and then we're getting good renditions of some figs like the Gung Ho's great, the Storm Shadow's great, the Zartan's pretty cool. It's like it's redundant though because it's here's another Zartan. But it's like, what the hell is going on? Are you windowless packaging? You got to save the environment, but now we got packages with bubbles on them. Why is the card so thin? The card should be thicker. Like it's just it's an enigma of a toy line. What is even the reason in retro?
Well, I feel like retro turned into a let's get them hooked because we're getting ready to get them classified. You know what I mean? Because retro came out around the same time. They didn't give a shit, but you said it perfectly. It's a drunk driver. It's all over the board. It doesn't finish anything. It's an ADD afterthought. We did them. We stopped real fast. I mean, if you think of the retro line, they didn't do shit. When you think of G.I. Joe,
3 3/4 inch retro,
yeah,
or
3 3/4.
The whole thing,
retro.
Everything that's been labeled retro, everything that has the name on it that says retro.
So as far as I'm concerned, classified retro is their version of giving you a Deke animated series cartoon look. That's what that is to me. That's all it is. It's a big shit miss. It's a money catcher.
Yeah.
The retro 3 3/4 inch line, I don't know where you were going with that. First, you started with giving us
Repaints.
Repaints of 25th, 50th
and 50th.
anniversary,
Yeah.
30th anniversary. Oh, here's a brand new mold of. We took a classified body and scaled it down to 3 3/4 inch to give you Stalker and Grunt, but everybody else is just a shitty repaint. Like the Storm Shadow you got, I feel sorry for you guys that collected that. You got the worst Storm Shadow ever.
Yeah.
You got the worst Storm Shadow ever.
The ultimate Storm Shadow would have been the key. People would have been excited to buy that. They'd be fighting each other to buy that.
But then all of a sudden it flops into, okay, now we're giving you 3 3/4 inch O-ring again. So is that where retro went to? And if so, you can only buy that if you have a Pulse membership or buy it through Pulse. That's where that retro line is gone.
Yeah. So everybody was talking when the retro 3 3/4 inch was out. Oh man, I hope they do this. Oh man, I hope they do that. I've lived long enough to see their patterns, bro. Like,
so the only one I ever bought was Grunt, and that's because I didn't have a decent like 30th, 50th anniversary Grunt. That's the only reason I bought Grunt.
I think they did pretty good on Grunt and Stalker. They look pretty impressive. But the Stalker wasn't needed because some of their old Stalkers aren't bad.
I have my own Stalker.
do you remember when they used to do chase figures, Viper Animal?
No.
They had a yellow Stalker. It was 25th. So
yeah,
they had a yellow one.
They came out with some weird colors.
Yeah, they did chase pieces, or that's what you want to call them, but trying to remember.
I mean, it's all a chase.
So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When I walked in the store the first time and saw 25th anniversary hanging on this shelf, I just about like died. Like that shit was amazing to see sitting on the shelf. And that had the original old school card backing. You had the characters on the back, you had the file card, you had the artwork. It was all old school.
They did it right.
Just the figure inside was different.
Yes, the figure was leaving to be desired.
At the time, they were good.
At the time,
I think if they would have kept the 25th anniversary card art and stuff, not brand them 25th, but keep the same style of card art and done it in the 30th and possibly maybe even the 50th, I think it would have done better.
That's your problem, though. You jumped in the 30th and 50th, so that's all you had. If you started with the 25th, you would have appreciated it more.
No, because I had the choice of jumping in at any moment. But when I got 25th figures, I was like, why do these feel weird? And I didn't know what they were at first. And because I bought a lot. And I had some 50th and I had some 25th mixed together. And all the 25th figs I didn't care for, but I liked the other ones. And then I started to learn the figures I was buying that I cared for were 30th, 50th, more of those lines, some POC, some ROC. And it was the 25th I was skipping over. There was a few that were good, like the Bazooka was fantastic, but
Bazooka was
the Duke
great.
was weird. The Scarlet was weird. There's
Cobra
a few
Commander.
Snake Eyes. Stalker was a little weird.
But at the time, for not having anything and that being what they gave you, this shit was amazing.
I could see that because not knowing 50th and I didn't know nothing else, yeah, it probably would have been a lot different.
Well, what captivated our eye then? The cards. I mean, we went from having closer to the time frame. We went from having G.I. Joe versus Cobra, Spy Troops, Valor versus Venom, and then it was like, whoa, here's 80s again. This looks 80s again. So
And it was a time in my life where it was I could walk into the store and they have 5 Crimson Guards and 6 Cobra Troopers. I could buy them all. I didn't have to be like, oh, you can only pick one or you can only pick 2. You buy all that. So that's when army building became a thing for me, really.
raw talk. The crotches. The crotches looked like they were wearing diapers, bro. That's my biggest complaint with 25th on a lot of them. Look like they had diapers, bro.
Yeah.
God damn. Let's see. How about my shit just about fell on the floor. So our next one, Animal and Viper and chat. Are people happy with the ratio in classified GI Joes to Cobras? A lot of us like Cobras only. A lot of us mostly like Cobras. A lot of us like the whole line. Me myself, I think I like the Cobras, but I just don't think the Joes are done very good. So I think there's enough Joes for me right now. It's just the quality. When I look at them, I think, man, they do not catch my eye. They seem very lackluster. So to me, I know that there seems to be more Cobras, but man, what do you think, Viper?
I think there's an adequate number of both. With the new pipelines coming out, there's a good assortment of Joes coming down. There's a good assortment of Cobras. I think so far they've been pretty fair with it.
Go ahead, Animal.
I mean, I think they've been pretty fair. I think you've just gotten a lot more of the solo heavy hitters in Cobra.
Yeah, I think we got all those first. We're starting to get those early.
So
Yeah,
Who
I
is-
think the thing that makes the numbers, I feel like the thing that maybe makes the numbers look bigger for Cobra is you have the army builders, which is allowing us to army build, which, I mean,
And
quite frankly, I'm running out of room on my Cobra shelf, but my G.I. Joe shelf still has quite a bit of room. You know what I mean?
they catch your eye. I mean, so okay, let's pose this question. What are the good Joes? Viper. What are
Oh
the
shit.
good
Outback. I like Flint. I like Beachhead. I like the Snake Eyes 02. Who
Gung
else?
Ho, the retro Gung Ho.
The retro. Oh yeah, the
Amazing.
retro Gung Ho's fantastic. Even with the reused legs, I like that. Looks great. They did a great job molding the figure in the first place. It just the colors were piss poor.
Spirit's good.
Spirit is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Outback, any version they do that I've seen, the render or the Tiger Force, blew me away. Just fantastic. I thought Duke was pretty good in the face, in the torso, the legs.
Duke?
Redeco Duke was good. The first Duke was good, but the gold was not good. But the
Duke
thing that I
was-
don't like is the legs and the boots. I feel like everything on Duke was good except for the lower half.
Duke is one that I wasn't a fan of. He looks too young. He looks I don't know. I changed my Duke. I I vamped my Duke. I didn't.
You might as well go get him. This might need to be a show and tell because Animal has so much.
I think he's on I don't know if he can. He is on IG. I think. I don't know if Pat can pull that up, but he should be on there. I don't know. I could pull him up if you just want to do a quick show and tell on it.
You have the figure, or
I
you
can
talking
set
about
the
showing them
figure
on
up.
social media?
I could show you the figure right here.
Either
if you
way.
wanted to really quick.
Yeah, if you have it in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a smorgasbord on those shelves, man.
Yeah, I know he's got us all drooling, man. I'm telling you, your guys' collection makes me drool.
Especially because they're mostly one of a kinds.
Wish I had half the shit I had, bro. Y'all's collection.
Yeah, we do need another Lady J, and we need a Star Brigade roadblock. Do not miss out on another roadblock. We need one. I think they should do chases now. You know, where you could get the Star Brigade roadblock in the red and the blue at the regular release, and then the chase is the orange and black. Make them go crazy.
Oh yeah. What do you got, Animal?
Can you see that?
Oh, right there. Right there.
Yeah. Do you see this? Do you see this?
He looks like an older man. You can see what you've done.
He's like 38, 40.
I'm going to say 44. I'm definitely going to say mid 40s.
Okay, mid 40s.
Yeah. Not hateful.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Change
But look at
Look
that.
at the boots.
Look how good a regular Joe Army, military figure can be. That's awesome. He's mean mugging though. He's mean mugging a bit.
A little bit.
That's awesome.
But nah, he was fun to do. I didn't like the way they did Duke. He's about one I changed. I did do Beachhead. I changed.
Will you grab another one while you're over there? Grab another one. Just pick one at random.
M3 Review says the only Joes I thought worth buying were Barbecue and Snake Eyes. Double Zero and Snake Eyes 30
give you
all
this
over
one.
Joes are not. Damn it. And
I'll give you
Snake
one
Eyes.
they ain't done.
All over
They
Joes are
probably
not my
won't do.
interest. I done fucked that comment up 3 ways a Sunday. That's all right. M3 likes Cobras. I do too, but I do like G.I. Joes.
Here, I'll do a custom Cobra. We'll do a custom Cobra. I'll do my custom Saw Viper. I don't know if everybody knows who Saw Viper is, but
Saw Viper? Yes, sir.
I'll show you the custom Saw Viper.
Spitin Venom.
If you don't know who Saw Viper is, you shouldn't be watching this show.
Go easy, Viper.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Saw Viper's dope, dude. They did him in 25th anniversary. If I
So
remember.
this is a little nod, kind of the 25th with the vest. But then it's got reminiscence of the original with the chap style armor.
Let's see that. Let's get a good view when you get back up to that heat.
So I picked up the helmet for Animal at Joe Fest.
I like it. I see the red ninja. Does that got what's
Bye,
that?
M3. Just kidding.
Later, M3.
M3 says, I never seen a Saw Viper. I'm out. He's just kidding.
That mid is that freaking Firefly?
It's Firefly's
Yep.
vest.
What
Now
about
you know
the-
Saw Viper, gentlemen. This is the point of this show, is to enlighten you on shit you might not have seen.
Pew, pew, pew. Where them
So
shoulder
this-
pieces come from?
That's the Firefly as well.
Those are
Firefly
them?
as well. Yeah, I just used 2 of them, not one of them.
So if you don't know, this is one of the main characters that murdered a bunch of Joes in cold blood
In what media?
in the comic books.
Dope. I always liked the Saw Viper's head. I thought it was pretty cool. It was very sci-fi-ish. Very RoboCop-ish, sci-fi-ish. Yes, sir.
He was a fun character to do.
Oh man, I'm just gonna kick. If you're gonna keep showing figs, I'm just gonna fucking kick back up and enjoy the show. Fuck any more topics, bro.
Right?
Well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I could show
Hey,
off a
Yeah.
couple more if
bring
you
'em.
wanted
Show.
to.
This is a
Let him see the
motherfucking GI
face.
Joe show. Bring the heat.
Who do you want to see?
Anything, bro. Hook it up.
Anything. I told you, animal. Anything.
Hook it up. I'm gonna sit here right with my beer, my Christmas tree, and look at some goddamn Animal Mother custom Joe figures.
I could show.
Some
well,
natty
we could
light.
they haven't been mailed out yet. They are shortly to be put in the mail and go to the winner of the raffle. But I
Oh,
could show off Skydrill Walker's winning customs.
shout out to Skydra Walker.
Yeah,
for
and
winning.
shout out to DFS for entering Skydro in the contest, manifesting what he needed.
So we'll start with. I guess we'll start with the Zombie Viper.
Ralph. Ralph.
So we'll start with the
Dude, take us through this
Eco
motherfucker.
the
Take us
Eco
through it.
Warriors Toxo Zombie. So this was just this was a random custom that just kind of came out of the blue. I was sitting around one day playing around. So this was a casted helmet from a Star Wars clone trooper I had made. And I was just kind of playing around with it, looking at it, kind of started getting this idea in my head. So I chopped it in half, took a Red Skull head, chopped that in half, kind of merged the two, and then just kind of started building off from it from there. So like there's a lot of green stuff work done to the head. There's a brain down in there.
What Toxo Viper are you modeling that after?
So this
The
goes after
91.
the 91 Eco Warriors
Okay,
Toxo
gotcha.
Zombie.
Okay,
So
working on
Yeah,
that.
this is the Toxo Zombie. The Toxo Viper is this character, but without being zombified.
Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to bring up some source material for people here. So
He was very neon. I don't own the figure anymore. I think Viper does.
okay.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
do.
leave your figure up, but I'm going to show the comparisons on my screen of what this figure looks like. Can you see it, Viper?
So this is the
So that's
50th anniversary.
Okay.
That's from the convention. That is the original Toxo
That's-
Viper.
yeah, that's the
The
Toxo
Toxo
Viper.
Zombie is what you're looking for.
Toxo Zombie. That's the newer one. Eco right here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
it's the Toxo.
That's the
it's-
Toxo
you want the-
Viper. You need the. It has to say Toxo Zombie, not Viper.
Oh, Toxo Zombie.
Yep.
My
It's a
bad.
totally different name, but it's the same character, just zombified, like they did with Captain America and some other ones. But G.I. Joe was kind of one of the first to bring about zombified characters.
Is this it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what he's trying to recreate.
Okay. There we go. That's a good. Wish I get that a little bit larger. There we go. Dallas Vintage. I've been there. That's
Yep.
too small. So look at that. Look at that heat, bro. We'll go back to
I mean, there are a few little things like I obviously destroyed the helmet a little bit more than the original toy to give you a little bit more look at the face and the brain,
did
stuff
did I
like that.
did I miss who you built that from while I was looking stuff up?
This is a hodgepodge, to be honest with you. It was built out of Marvel Legends parts, Star Wars parts. I want to say the chest armor may have been off a, do I say or dare say maybe Destiny figure? Like from the video game Destiny. I think this may have been the body armor off one of them that I twinked and tuned and added and sculpted to.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. It's sick. Raw Talk. Raw Talk says it's dope.
And then
I mean, it's got severed spine, exposed, just craziness.
Not
And
sure
then
what
this
you're asking me,
is,
Mark Cosplay. Don't know. Sorry.
and
All
then
right.
this is based off the 91 Eco Warriors Cobra cesspool.
What's up, Inutabi? I'm gonna bring that up too. Eco
Man, oh
Warriors.
man.
So the only thing that's different really is I changed the chest logo. I made it like a bigger Cobra symbol instead of just,
The whole chest being a cobra.
yeah, it was like the whole chest was like a Cobra. It was
No, I
very
mean
odd.
it's a fresh take on it, and it pays homage to the original. It looks fantastic. It's got enough of the old with reminiscent of the
Ooh,
new.
look at that backpack, bro. I'm a big
Yeah,
backpack freak, dude. Fuck
He's got
yeah.
the he's got his
Hell yeah.
sludge. He's got his sludge pack.
Animal, you kick ass, bro.
that's
And
Major
then
Blood's arm. That's Cobra Commander's shoulder piece, all recycled. Where'd you get that little computer on his leg? And show him it's removable.
Oh,
so the computer came, oh sorry, the computer came with Firefly, and it's actually removable and magnetized and
look at this shit, y'all.
everything
Y'all,
else that comes on. Hang on, sorry.
chat, are you witnessing the greatness of Animal Mother? He's got some fucking heat, bro.
Serious, bro. That's why I say, like, you put the right person in the job and they'll bring
Wow.
the pain.
Man, congratulations. That shit looks fucking dope. What's up, kid with the grinip?
Here's another one. This isn't one a lot of people. I personally love this character, but this is Repeater. I don't know if
Hat.
anybody knows who Repeater was, but he had the amazing sim gun.
Kid says
Much like
animal is an animal. Good
the
lord.
sim gun. The sim gun's actually made out of it's actually made out of sheet styrene. I don't know if anybody knows what sheet styrene is, but
Yeah.
it's all made
I,
out of sheet styrene, just
it's
kind of
you use it a lot
stacked
to
up.
fix GI Joe vehicles if you need to.
Just kind of like stacked up and carved out and stacked up, and then the whole little arm mechanism moves,
Nice
rotates.
camo. Nice camo
It's,
on that too.
it's magnetized to his side there, down at the bottom.
See, that's what I want. I want my Joes with camo and fucking kick ass weapons.
Now, see, I know there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that do customs, and they just kind of half-ass throw something together and call it the figure, and it's because it's their take on it, and I get that, but like I feel like if you want to
Tiny,
make GI Joe customs and you're gonna slap it as this is the GI Joe, like you should
Tiny,
probably reword it.
I feel you, Tiny. Those pants were fucking dope, man.
Trying to think.
Viper, wake up.
Trying to think of who else. Tunnel Rat. I feel like Tunnel Rat's. Everybody's seen Tunnel Rat. That's been on the
I had a
internet
visitor.
all over the place.
I wonder who it was.
Tunnel Rat's been all over the internet. I was one of the first to do Shipwreck, I feel.
Who do you got with badass camo? You got more with camo? I like camo on my Joes, man.
I did do a Firefly. I revamped my Firefly.
Yeah, let's see this.
If you want to see that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of room to make Firefly good. You know what I mean?
So Firefly, I kind of revamped a little bit. I took a little bit of inspiration from
Viper.
Firefly
all
is
sorts of
amazing.
things with Firefly, but kind of stuck with the
Oh,
OG
shit.
with a little bit of modern.
I was just showing it.
Show it again.
Oh yeah, there he is.
Show Firefly, bro. You guys got to see this.
Mm.
This is the way Firefly should have came from Hasbro.
Okay, so we got rid of a lot of the bulkiness in the middle. Nice.
Yeah, I
Just
got
bring
rid
in
of
the pain, bro.
I got rid of the chest armor. I switched out the arms, so he's got new arms. You can't really see it, but there's a comic out there where like he's got one blinded eye, and he's got this menacing look to him, and that's the kind of, so I blinded out the one eye.
Dope. Good Lord.
He's
Man.
got his little
Ooh, that's
little
nice.
C4 satchels.
Yeah. So when we were kids, wasn't it the shit with all the little weaponry that they came from with?
Yeah, or was
Like,
just molded on them.
I'm in the
So,
I'm in the
like,
minority. Give me less
I
hands, but give me more fucking weapons like
yeah.
that.
I have the OG backpack, but I kind of like the looks of this one with the
Nah, I like
details,
modern
so
shit sometimes, bro.
I kind of switched
I like
up
the old
backpack.
stuff, but this is fire.
I
McNasty
kept him
with
with the
cheese.
goggles. If I'm gonna switch anything up, I might buy the gridiron set just so I can have the acetylene torch backpack for him.
Oh, shout out to Gridiron, man. I'm thinking about buying that set. Hell, it's nice.
So that might be the only thing I change on him, is buy that set just to have that backpack to throw on him.
Yes. Damn.
But
Man. You're melting the freaking show, bro, with all your heat.
if you give me a second, I'll show you off a couple 3 3/4 inch stuff, since we don't get a lot of love there.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so much fire. And now I think I've helped push Animal back into 3 3/4 O-ring customs. So be prepared, because he's got a mounted police officer from Canada. That's a Sergeant Slaughter, Sergeant Yukon, he calls him, and it was made out of a 10-minute phone call. So it's just like, oh, it's amazing what can be created with the right person at the helm.
It's amazing what you can put when you get a den of snakes together.
Kung Fu Grip says that is Firefly. He's exactly right. Like there's a standard that needs to be upheld, and you can make a new version, because that itself is a new version. It's not the old, but there's nods to the old, the look, the camo, the armament. So here we go.
So Sergeant Yukon was literally made together because me and Corey were talking about me possibly building my Super Cop custom, and instead of making Super Cop, I made a goddamn Mountie.
Which this is, I think, better. I'm not a fan of Canada mounted police, but this is a figure that is seldom created to this level of detail. I've seen the other customs out there, and they fall so short from this.
It looks like something you could see in the 90s.
Little Billy Club. Yeah.
Dude, Dudley Do-Right would be proud.
If we want to jump forward, here's some like 30th, 50th.
Oh, dude,
you see how you do Dusty? Look at this.
Good that Dusty looks. Fuck. Okay,
and that's soft goods.
Look, I even gave him soft goods.
It takes this figure to what he's supposed to be. I don't want to fucking hear no bullshit of nitpicking. That's what we should have fucking got.
For real. Look at the gun, bro. Is that a FAMAS?
Drop the mic right here.
That's actually the OG Dusty FAMAS.
Nice, bro.
Damn, man. Dude. Bro, you're congratulations.
This is what I mean by Lenny being in the clouds in fantasy land with his dragons and his weird creatures he draws, and Animals over here in the trenches bringing the fire. Where Hasbro fails, Animal steps in.
1/4 inch Duke.
Yeah, but we want some of this fire. Look at
I do. What do I got to do to get that Duke, bro? Jesus.
What do I got to do to get some good shit here, man?
This is the toy that I would beat down the walls of Kmart to go buy. If this was in stores, you couldn't keep me away.
See, all the 30th, 50th anniversary, I bought it all, but I ripped it all apart, and this is what I used to do. It's just remake the characters the way.
All right, take us through what parts that's made from, real quick.
Dude, I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's
couldn't
so
even,
long
I
ago,
couldn't
it's a
even remember.
mystery.
I couldn't
You
even remember all
You
the
got time
parts.
for? You got one more handy?
Yeah, I got Recondo right here.
How many more you got on hand?
I got another one I could do after
Okay.
Recondo.
After that
Oh
one, I
my
think we're gonna
God.
bounce. Move it to the after. Damn,
Got
man.
Recondo, and then I don't know. Does anybody remember the cartoon?
And Animal
Toy
does
line.
commissions. He does commissions
Cops.
if you're looking.
So this was a 3 3/4 inch Cops figure I put together. I believe it's Sergeant Mace from the Cops toy line.
Amazing.
I made
Making
the
something that
bazooka.
doesn't even exist. Doesn't even exist. And just brings it into existence.
Who
I mean,
who was that?
Cops.
Who was that? I was talking to somebody. Who was that?
So it was. I think his name is Sergeant Mace from the. Remember the Cops, the old Cops cartoon,
Cops and crooks.
Cops and Crooks. There was a toy line. They had a cartoon.
You're killing me, animal. You're killing me over here.
I just kind of made this. He was one of my favorites from that cartoon, so I just kind of I made him in a 3 3/4 inch GI Joe.
I want everything you make. I haven't found something that looks bad.
I'll give you this with a takeout. Here's a 3 3/4 inch Zanzibar I did with custom tattooing.
Can I tell you something, animal? I do not like
Jesus.
Zanzibar at all. That figure, I mean, that's the balls.
Absolute
Yeah, he's
fucking
got
amazing.
all the tattoo is hand done. It's not.
What
a
about the
decal.
stash? Stash hand done?
Yep, everything is hand done. There's no decals.
Holy fuck.
Look at them cheeks. Jesus.
That's gay.
That's for M3.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah, I
man.
mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of customs I've done.
Curtis says tattoos are fire. Round he says McNasty. Nasty. I had that when I was a kid. Cops, dude. I don't hit people up because they have enough shit to do. I don't like bothering them. But if I did, bro, I would be making orders when you can handle them. But dude, you do some fucking
You better get in
amazing
line.
shit, animal.
Better get
The
in
line
line.
is the line's growing.
Nah,
Yeah.
dude. As much as I would like to, I ain't gonna bother him, man. Because a customizer is very busy, and that's a lot.
Animal's unique though. Animal's unique. You might catch him on a day where he's got the right parts there in front of him and he'll whip it together for you in a matter of 2 hours, bro.
Shit.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
Mountie literally. I mean, we talked about it, and 5 hours later, I had it painted.
Finished. Done.
Up on
In that
IG.
night. Yeah, that night. Complete.
All
We
right.
were just talking and then he's like, look, it's painted. I was like, oh my God.
All right, we're closing this one down, man. We're closing it down on some fucking serious heat the animal just brought, man. Dude, I'm impressed. I've been hearing about
Thank
your
you.
work a lot, looking at your Instagram and stuff too. But I do
It's
like
fun to do.
your 6-inch, but dude, I'm loving those 3 3/4, man. Holy shit.
The
Wow.
3 3/4 inch was fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Animal, you need a book. You need a
right?
book of all your portfolios.
Yeah. So, well, we're gonna get out of here. This is the Serpents Lair. We're gonna be spitting venom more frequently, and we're gonna have more people on. So next week's show will be Destro's Dungeon. He will be joining us. So don't know what the topics are gonna be. Me and Viper don't decide the topics until the day before. So there you go.
Right. DFS, I agree with you. Move Lenny to McFarland Dragons.
Lenny, step it up, bro. If you got any pull,
Right.
step it up, bro.
He can't even touch the animal mother, bro. You put
But
Lenny in a room with a box of fodder and an animal in a room, let the victor come out.
when he showed Dusty, it showed just how much they let us down. And with that being said, Animal, thank you for stopping by
Yo,
again.
it's been fun, man.
As
Thank you,
always,
chat. Thank you,
chat,
chat.
Chat. It's been
chat
fun.
with fire. Shout out Through Life Stream Crew, Joe Bros, Halloween Bangers, motherfucking anybody else I can't think of. Oh, Russell Chat Wednesday, ID Dub, all the people I do shit with, man. Shout out and shout out to everybody in chat.
Yeah,
Appreciate
shout out
everybody.
in chat.
And we gonna be getting out. Stay with us, Animal. Don't go nowhere.
I'll stay.
Don't leave.